reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Welcome to Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma.
Reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Hello, everyone, and this is Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. I'm your host, Kale Epperson, and like always, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm getting a lot of likes on Facebook. I almost got 900 likes. That's pretty wild. Again, thank you. Thank you so much. As you can tell, I look tired, and that's because I am. I'm just exhausted, folks. Currently, my paranormal team, we're on leave. And a lot of it is because we all work some type of job where we get long hours during the holidays. Myself, I do mall security and working 12-hour shifts on several days. It can drag you down. So that it's kind of, as you can tell, it's drained me a lot. So I don't want it to seem like I'm dragging through this podcast, but I'm gonna try to get this out here to you. My episode today is going to be on paranormal drama. But before I dive into that, I want to share a new piece of ghost hunting equipment that I just got. I got it for Christmas, and I got it for my wife, and it's something I want to share, and it is a track camera. And if you never saw what a track camera is, or a trail camera as the hunters know it, it is made where you can put it on a tree and you mount it to a tree, so if a deer walks past it, it'll trip off, and you should be able to get footage of if there's any deer or any live game that walks past. Now, I think this would be a great idea if you're a Bigfoot enthusiast. I think that'd be great for you. But we're going to be trying it for ghost hunting, and it works at the same principle. You set it up somewhere, and you try to see if you can pick up any paranormal activity with it. It opens up like this. It's got some clamps on the side. You open it up, and it's got all your dials and all your gizmos on there. But when you put it together, it takes 4 AA batteries to get it working. It's got a USB port where you plug it into your computer. And what I like is down at the bottom, if you can see, it's got a little hole here where you can screw it onto a tripod, and that way you can set it up. And this one here, it's set up with a motion sensor, then you got your camera, and then your LED lights or your infrared lights. And this is made for daytime or nighttime shots, so you can set up during the day or night. And it comes in 2 different colors. You can get it in the camo, or you can get it in black. I know a lot of ghost hunters, they like black. I mean, people are buying K2 meters that are black, gauze meters that are black. It's just a thing to do because they don't want anything that reflects light off. So it's up to your discretion. My wife bought this one, and I had a choice between this one and a black one. And the only reason why I grabbed this one is because it's got more features to it, and there's more storage space. You do have to buy your own SIM card for it, so keep that in mind. So you want to buy a SIM card. But I don't want to dwell too much with that. It's just new ghost hunting equipment. I would recommend if you want to try it out in the field, go for it. Some people that's already used it, like if they're hunters, the only complaint they have on it, there is a delay. Because when they look at the picture, you can see the animal passing, but it doesn't give the full view of them. So the delay might be an issue. I haven't set this up and tested it myself. Our lead tech on our ghost hunting team, he's used several of these during our investigations. We haven't got nothing significant that says paranormal or if it's a ghost. There's a couple times that the camera went off and there's nothing in the photo. So it either took a video or took a photograph and there's nothing in it. So something tripped it off and we can't figure out what. So just, I don't know, something new. Something to try out in the field. Alrighty, one thing I want to talk about is jumping into this paranormal drama. I just recently got drug into some crap. And that's what it basically boils down to is just freaking crap. And if anybody knows me, they know that I don't like drama. I think it's just bullcrap, folks. Um, I don't like getting drug into it. I don't like my name or people referencing me to be part of their drama or their rumors or their gossip. I'm sorry, it just takes me off. So you have to pardon me if I get a little upset because it really does. I hate drama. I don't care what type of drama it is, from internet drama to personal drama, relationship drama. It's all the freaking same crap, folks. So here's the deal. Um, Paranormal drama causes a lot of negativity. If you're part of a spiritualist team, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, and this negativity can destroy your team or hurt other people. When you have negativity, it just breeds. It spreads from one person to the next, and you end up having, damage along the way just because of maybe two people can't get along. So let's talk about team drama. And like I said, when I do these podcasts, I'm sharing things that I have experienced or researched out in the field. This here is going to be more of experience. Alrighty. Again, my apologies. I do get very ticked off if I think about anything dealing with drama, and I really have to work through this podcast. I'm really having issues trying to stay focused. So, and a lot of it is because it really ticks me off. Okay, you're probably laughing at me right now. Good, because I'm trying to laugh too. Uh, all right, paranormal drama. Okay, it may start off as something simple as Paranormal Group A. And let's divide it like that: Paranormal Group A and Paranormal Group B. Paranormal Group A, for say, they're just not getting a lot of sites. They're not getting a lot of investigations, a lot of locations. They may investigate maybe once or twice a month, and they're just not really going anywhere. On the flip side, Paranormal Group B, they may be doing just fine. They're getting a lot of locations, a lot of sites, a lot of clients. For say they got their name in the paper or face in a magazine or something, or even on television. Paranormal Group A may have an issue with that. They may get jealous of Paranormal Group B just because of their success. Now, to keep in mind, when we ghost hunt, we're looking for the paranormal. We're not really trying to be famous. I don't want to be famous. You're probably thinking, well, Kel, you got a YouTube channel. You're, is that what you're trying to do? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I put on these podcast shows to share information and my experiences in the field. I wish I had something like this to watch when I was a newbie in the field. I could probably avoided a lot of mistakes if I had informational stuff like this. So I don't want to be famous. What ends up happening, you got Paranormal Group A, they may start spreading rumors. And it may all start internally. So you got one of their investigators telling their investigator of, I wonder how they get their sites. I bet they're stealing clients. I heard they're stealing locations from other teams. I heard they got in that location by they criminally trespassed. So what ends up happening is here you got one investigator telling another investigator. But you know that one investigator is not going to keep their mouth shut. They're going to spread to somebody else. And sooner or later, Team A's gossip or drama, it gets twisted around and it finally gets to Paranormal Group B. So when Paranormal Group B gets it, it's all scrambled up. So whatever this team actually said in the first place has got construed over here. And then here we go. Paranormal Group B is after Paranormal Group A, and it just keeps going back and forth, and it turns into a bunch of crap afterwards. So you're probably thinking, well, Kel, how would you handle that situation? How would you handle that if you heard somebody talking about you or bashing your name or da 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 da? Well, A, you got to do damage control. When you're part of a paranormal group, you got to realize your credibility is on the line. Now, that doesn't mean going out there fighting with people or trying to beat the crap out of them. My recommendation is if you hear gossip or rumors, yes, you need to snuff it out, but you need to do it on a professional manner. So what I would do, I'd get on the phone, and if it went down and I discovered, oh, this person on Paranormal Group A has been saying all this crud, guess what? I'm going to give that person a call. When I deal with drama, I deal with it head on. I don't deal with the person that told me. I deal with the person where they say they originated from. And then if I discover that they said that, I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with them. Because most of the time, it all boils down to a misunderstanding. I thought they meant this. I thought they meant that. It's all high school drama B crap. That's what it is. So these two people just need to sit down and hash it out like grown-ups. It's just that simple. The way I look at it with the Ghost Hunter team, we run it like a business. That's how I like to run it. Yes, you don't need people out there talking about, you know what Paranormal Group B did? Yeah, that's stuff you need to snuff out. And team owners, that's kind of what they have to do. Because you don't want your credibility to be ruined. Now, if Paranormal Group B did something stupid or illegal and they brought that drama onto themselves, that's their own freaking fault. So if they had a team member that went out and broke the law and it gave their name and it slandered their name or whatever, that's their fault. They should have done damage control. But if it's lies, that's something that needs to get fixed. I just don't tolerate that crap. I really don't. I've seen team members kind of drop back, go and leave for a little bit because the stress is too much for them because of the drama, and they miss out on so much. The way I look at it is, if a team is talking bad about my team, we're still going to do what we need to do and still go forward. Because I know the lies and rumors aren't true, and I'm still going to do what I need to do and not change anything unless I have to. I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, but if you're not doing nothing wrong, you got nothing to worry about. If you're remaining professional, let your actions define you. So if you're a professional out in the field and you get a client and they realize, oh, you're not who they talked about, well, you guys are professional, that's going to carry forward. The paranormal group I'm with, we have the reputation of being very professional. We don't stir up any drama. We deal with our clients like a business. And that's how we get all our clients, because we treat them like people. We handle it on a professional manner, and we're honest with them. If we don't find nothing on the investigation, we don't lie about it. We don't fake evidence. We bring it right to them. And there's times I've sat down with a client and said, well, we went through all the evidence, went through all the recordings, and we didn't get nothing. We didn't get no EVPs, nothing paranormal. It was a dead night. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, wouldn't that scare them off where they don't want you back in their home again? Well, yeah, you risk that chance. But, if you're trying to help people, especially in like home investigations, I'd rather tell them there's nothing in their home than to lie to them and say, yeah, there is something, just to have them bring you back. Why would you want to investigate a home where there's no activity anyway? That just doesn't make sense to me. But I know paranormal groups that do that. They'll lie to a client and say, yeah, we got this, 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 and this, when it really didn't happen. So, another thing with paranormal drama is the internet. That's one thing I really want to talk about and share one of my experiences that I just went through. And this is the stupidest thing I ever got drug into. And it all started from, I hate to say it, I was trying to defend another fellow investigator in our field. Kind of, defend his honor a little bit. And what happened was, okay, here's the deal. I'm sorry. Drama crap just ticks me off. I'm sorry. You can tell it. I'm sorry. It phases me. It makes me mad. Gives me headaches. Uh, but this is something I gotta share with you guys because it's stuff that you need to know. I just don't want you guys getting drug into it. Okay. This is what happened. Uh, Here in Oklahoma, there's another team member off another team, and this guy's been doing ghost hunting since the 80s. He's been doing it for a long time. He's got one of the top paranormal teams around here in Oklahoma, and this guy's got very good reputation. I'm not gonna lie, he's got a good reputation. He recently started, sharing some of his discovered interesting, what I call interesting photos, and it was just stuff that he couldn't debunk. So occasionally he'll put that out there on like Facebook and try to see if he can get some help to debunk it. So if somebody can debunk it, then he'll just trash it like, okay, if somebody else can debunk it, then it's probably not paranormal in the first place. But this is one of those situations. Now, my recommendation when it comes down to posting your real evidence online, I always tell people don't do it. Anybody that knows me or the team that I'm on, they always ask, well, how come you don't post your evidence online? Well, the reason being is if I post a interesting photo online, then it's no longer mine. And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about, Kale? What do you mean it's not yours anymore? Well, what it boils down to is if I put it online, that means anybody can access it. Especially on Facebook. Thousands and thousands of people subscribe to Facebook on a daily basis. People are on there every day typing on there. So guess what? If you post a photograph, it's not that hard to go click, save, it's mine. So you're risking a chance of somebody stealing your photo, exploiting your photo, slandering your photo, and you can kind of tell where this is going. So, you know, getting back to the story, he posted a photograph he just wanted debunked. And for me, as an investigator, when I looked at it, I had some ideas of debunking the photo. Now, for me, since I work locally with teams here, yeah, I understand that made a lot of sense, didn't it? First, say, like this team member that's been around since the 80s. Okay, I work with this man. I don't debunk his stuff unless he requests it of me. So he posts something, I look at it and I think it's debunkable. I'm really not going to say anything because if he thinks it is something, it could stir up drama. Right, and I want to work with these people. So I don't go to holler at another team and debunk whatever they have and embarrass them or make them look stupid. All am I going to say is, yeah, that's interesting. That's definitely something to look into. But I'm going to leave it like that. Now, if they said, well, Kel, what do you think? Do you think it's paranormal or not? Okay, well, here's my opinion. And then I'll give my opinion. But I'm not going to throw my opinion out there unless they ask for it. So keep that in mind when you work with local teams in your area. See, for me, I like working with other teams. I may learn something that I didn't know before or discover something I didn't know before. You're basically sharing experiences with different teams. You do risk a chance, though, if you work with another team, if they do something stupid, it may drag you into it. But that's very rare something like that happens. But like I said before, I like going on and visiting other teams. What was it? The plasma ball. We discovered with joining up with another team to use a plasma ball as a trigger item. I thought, well, that's a great idea. And we shared that experience. Like right now, me sharing the track camera. You may not have known that, oh, wow, I can use that for ghost hunting. Well, now you know because I'm sharing experience with you. But anyway, just back to it, back to the story. Uh, anyway, this ghost hunter friend of mine that I know, he posted the photograph. And apparently, some guy that is a so-called investigator from the United Kingdom and also a admin on some ghost hunter page, and I'm not going to mention the page, but he took this other investigator's photo. He posted it on this page, and he basically started slandering the photo. And he put something on there like, hey guys, what do you think of this? I think it's photoshopped. Well, this guy probably didn't realize that, there's thousands of people that subscribe or join up with that so-called ghost hunter page. And it's 1,000,000 and 1 chance that the photograph he posted, that somebody on that page is going to recognize the photo or recognize the name that's attached to the photo. Well, this guy, he left this fellow Oklahoma investigator's name attached to the photo. So when I saw it, I have to admit it ticked me off. You could tell it really ticked me off. My thought was that could have been my photo they'd done that to, or they could have done it to somebody else. So I got interested and I decided to click the comments just to see what all was being posted. So when I opened up the comments, I was just disgusted with all these people that were making comments. And they were basically calling him a fake and a fraud, that he photoshops his photos. They even said he used a ghost app. Now, the problem that they were having, it was they weren't proving that he'd done all this stuff. They weren't proving how he photoshopped it. They didn't prove how he used a ghost app on it. They were basically saying he faked the photo. But they weren't posting anything about how he supposedly faked the photo. And my deal is, if you're debunking something, you need to show how it's debunkable. Okay, you need to get in more detail about it. Well, with me looking at the photograph, again, when I looked at it, I knew that there was a logical reason behind the photo. But, again, I'm not going to comment on what that logical reason was because I know who the guy is. So, remaining calm, trying to remain professional, I did leave a comment on the post. And all I put was, it's like, hey folks, I know who the original person is that took this picture. And he's one of the top notch in the paranormal field as we know of today. He's one of the brass. I put in there he's been around since the 80s. And as long as I worked with him in the field, he's never faked or fraudulated any photograph. And besides, when he posted this photo, it's for debunking purposes only. He's not claiming it's anything. And when this guy took the snapshot of the photo, he had this fellow Oklahoman investigator's comments on there. And it's very clear that he put on there that he's not claiming that it's a ghost. He just thinks it's odd and trying to debunk it. Because everybody that was making comments on there were thrill seekers, wannabe ghost hunters, and you could tell by their comments. They really thought they were something. Okay. Still, me trying to remain professional, I tried to explain to them that, if you have any questions on the photo, you can talk with him directly. He will be happy to explain it to you. But just don't slander the man just because you can. Well, what ended up happening was these idiots started bashing and ripping on me, and then I guess the guy that created this ghost hunter page was defending his investigator. Now, like I said, these individuals are from the United Kingdom, and I guess the admin that created this page, this is his baby. This is his life. It's the internet and Facebook and this crazy wannabe ghost hunter page. So apparently he took in some offense about what I said. And in his mind, he thought, well, if this guy fakes his photos, well, this guy that's taken up for him, he must be a fake and a fraud too. So before I could even explain anything, this guy's ripping into me and pretty much tells me that, maybe you don't need to be part of this group, and you could either leave yourself or we can kick you off and ban you. Okay, when it boils down to kicking me off ghost hunter pages, I really don't give a crap. There are thousands upon thousands of freaking ghost hunter pages on Facebook. Most of them are crap anyway. Just a bunch of thrill seekers that put the pages together, people that don't debunk. There's maybe one or two pages out there that are really legit, okay, that are really trying to figure out why the phenomena is going on. But I'm going to tell you right now, most of those pages are crap, okay? And this guy's page that he ripped the photo off our fellow Oklahoman over here, his page is pretty much a group for thrill seekers. I'm throwing it out there, okay? Anyway, before I could even explain anything, he booted me off the page. He banned me from the page. No big deal. What usually happens is these guys decide, you know what, we done something bad, and usually the next day they apologize. Seriously, they apologize, and they request me to come back. It's just the point of the matter is the individuals start realizing that, oh crap, this guy knows what he's talking about, and they come crawling back, begging me to come back. And a lot of times they offer me admin positions, which I refuse to do. I do not want to be an admin on any of these pages. The only Facebook page I run is my podcast show page. But anyway, after they booted me off the page, I sent a message to my fellow Oklahoma investigator, and I just let him know, saying, hey, just FYI, some guy off this page ripped your photo. He took the photo, and he's pretty much slandering you on this page. Now, I tagged you to the post. I just want you to be aware of it. Now, I'm not trying to stir up drama. I just wanted him to know that somebody ripped his photo. And, of course, this fellow Oklahoma investigator, like always, he is professional, businesslike, and he's like, okay, I'll take a look at it, and, if they're got any issues with me, I'll send the admin a message myself, and I'll talk to him. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And we kind of had that short discussion of, people are, a little close-minded when it comes to ghost hunting. They're not open-minded. And that's pretty much where the conversation kind of left off, is, just friendly chit-chatter. Well, the next day, I'm at work. And I pretty much put the whole situation behind me, because it's like I said, no big deal. Well, I get a message from this guy. Let me grab my phone. Now, I'm going to read this off my phone. And this is what cracks me up. Like I said, anytime I get booted off of Ghost Hunter pages, they want to add me back on. Okay. So, I guess between the time that he booted me off the page, he ticked off somebody else. And what ended up happening was, I wish I could tell you what page it's on, so you could look it up yourself, but I'm not going to do that. But on his so-called Ghost Hunter page, he's constantly taking other people's photos and slandering them, which is very wrong. Now, keep in mind, I always tell people, don't post your evidence. Like I said before, because if you post it, it's no longer yours. So this group, this admin and his investigators, Now, keep in mind, these people aren't part of a real paranormal team. When I had conversations with this admin, he doesn't even have a team. You know, all he does is watch the TV ghost hunter shows and thinks he's an expert, and he runs a page. Yeah. So, uh, so he sent me a message, and this was probably about, let's see, it was at 11:45 a.m., and I'll just read this off to you. And he sends me a message. He says, "Hi, Kale. I'm happy to add you to the group, but I don't want any confrontations or arguments. Is that okay?" Which kind of confused me because I wasn't starting any confrontations. Um, with the original post, I just kind of reminded them, hey, don't be slandering people for no freaking reason. So I said, cool. Then the guy says, "I apologize for being rude to you." My response back was, "No worries." And then I explained to him that this fellow investigator is someone I know and worked with before in the field. I explained he's been with the paranormal and he's been investigating since the 80s. And then I said, before I could explain my point, I got deleted off. I really don't think he photoshopped the image. And then I explained to him what my belief was with this image. Well, the guy sends me a message back and he says, "Again, I apologize, Kale. Please feel free to share that information with the group. It would help clear things up." And I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's going to add me back to the page. And sure enough, ding, my Facebook clicks and it says I'm added back to his Ghost Hunter page again, which is no big deal. Like I said, I can care less I'm part of any page or not. And I figured it was probably the same old situation of, yeah, I'm deleting you off. Oh, wow, this guy, apparently I did some research and he actually knows what he's talking about, so I'm going to bring him back. Well, what I didn't know, again, is that they steal other people's photographs and they slander them, and apparently they tick somebody off. And of course, this person that they ticked off had their own Ghost Hunter page, so they took his face, the face of the investigator, the face of his Ghost Hunter page, and then found evidence where these freaking idiots have stole other people's evidence and claimed them as their own. And they were slandering, basically paying these guys back for slandering them in the first place. So they were basically, it was karma. They were getting paid back for what they done wrong. So immediately these guys thought, wait a minute, we don't know who's slandering us on Facebook. It must have been Kale. Now, they never blatantly said it was me. He just beat around the bush trying to figure out if it was me or this fellow Oklahoma investigator that supposedly slandered him. So he sends me another message and he says, "Hi, Kel, can you clear something up for me?" And I put, "Yes, question mark." Then he put, "Did you tell another group that Andy had posted a picture in this group?" And I'll just leave the first name. Well, I'm a little bit confused, and I put question mark no. And of course, I knew which photograph he was talking about. He was talking about this Oklahoma investigator's photo that they ripped off. Then he puts, "Kale, it does seem very strange that my face and Andy's face and the group are being slandered by a group that belongs to this fellow Oklahoma investigator, the person where the picture originated from." So I put a question mark because I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. Then he tells me the picture Andy posted last night belonged to whoever he ripped it off of here in Oklahoma, and then he gave me the name of the ghost hunting group. Then he put, "I need some answers, Kale. I'm not very happy. Andy and other members are asking me a lot of questions." So I'm assuming he's talking about the fellow Oklahoma paranormal researcher here in town, which I know he owns his own ghost hunting page. And next thing I know, I hear ding. Well, this guy removes me from his page again. Then he sends me a message and said, I had to remove you, Kale. I am sorry, but until I know who was responsible for this situation, I'm not taking any chances. So I send him a message of, what happened? And then he gives me the name of this ghost hunter page again, and he says, have a look at all these slanderous posts and comments about my group, myself, and Andy. I take a look at the page, and when I look at this guy's comments, it's very obvious that whoever was attacking this guy is pretty much was payback. And I hate to say it, he had some significant evidence proving that his paranormal group was ripping off photos and stealing photos. They had proof behind it. And it just shocked me when I saw that, and I thought, oh crap, these guys have done themselves in. So I told, I said, WTF. Then he said I could take legal action if I wanted to. And here we go when it comes to drama. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue somebody. It's the same old bull crap. If you get into paranormal research or ghost hunting, if you bump heads with somebody, the first thing that comes out of their freaking mouth is, I'm going to sue you. My question is, what are you going to sue me for? Don't you realize ghost hunters don't make any money? If you're in this field, you spend more money than you make money. You don't make no money. You don't charge customers. Again, I'm going to sue you. Sue for what? You're not going to get anything. So drop the BS suing crap. And again, continue with his little story here. He says, have a look at their wall. And I said, okay. So I looked at it. And my response with him was, have you reported the page to Facebook? And then he says, yes, a lot of people have. I need to get to the bottom of this, Kale. And I can't have you in the group until I do. I get members threatening to leave at this very moment. So with him mentioning that, it was very obvious he thinks it was me, or he thinks it's his fellow Oklahoma investigator. And now I'm getting kind of pissed off. Okay? It's like, if you're going to blame me for something, you need to get in my face about it. But apparently this guy hasn't got the guts to blame me because he really doesn't know what's going on. And he doesn't really realize that the person that's slandering him on Facebook is a totally different person. Okay? So my response back is, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know who runs the page. And then I sent a link to the fellow Oklahoma investigators Ghost Hunter page, which is totally different from the page that this idiot sent me. Now he's saying, I'm trying to see if I can sort this thing out, and I'm still trying to remain professional, try not to lose my cool. And I told him, well, I would report this to Facebook. It is a clear violation of the rules. I'm sorry that this has happened to you guys. And he responds back, I've already have. Then he asks if I told this fellow Oklahoma investigator about the picture that they stole. And I reply, yes, I told him yesterday. Then he's like, then it's no coincidence, is it, that me, Andy, and my group are being slanted, is it? My response back is, well, it's very sad. I hope it's not him. I complained to Facebook about it anyway, and I pretty much explained that I don't think it's this fellow investigator because that's not part of his character. Then I responded back to him, is it possible that you made somebody else mad? Could it be somebody else? I know some people's feelings get hurt if you debunk their photographs or you take their photographs without their permission. Then, catch this. He says, Kale, I added you back to the group again, but if anything happens like this again, I have no option but to ban you for good. Now, I'm getting really pissed off now, okay? Because now it's very blatant. He either thinks it's me, okay? And I responded back, ban me for what? I didn't do anything. Sorry you had a bad experience on Facebook, but you can't blame random people without facts. He responds back, I'm not wishing to fall out with you, Kale. let's just forget the whole business of it. Now he's starting to realize that, oh crap, I just accused the wrong person. I'm accusing Kale of doing something wrong, even though I have no fact behind it. And I think it's starting to hit him in his head after my comment that it could have been somebody else. That, oh fuck, I done something bad here. And my response back was, I understand that you're upset. Anybody would be upset about it. I just don't want you blaming innocent people and allowing them to get blamed for something they didn't do. Facebook has thousands and thousands of people that log on there every day. His Ghost Hunter page probably has over 1,000 people on his page. Now, keep in mind, he steals other people's photographs and he slanders them on his page. The person that you stole that photograph, they're probably going to find out about it. And guess what? They're going to be mad about it. That's just human nature. It's just going to happen. The guy responds back. He says, that's fair enough. I see your point. He then adds me back onto the group again. And, I'm back on there today. And of course, guess what? He's still pulling other people's photographs and he's slandering them. Drama is a two-way sword, ladies and gentlemen. When you start it, it spreads. It cuts from both sides. This is what I want to get into. Let's look at this whole story that I just told you. Okay, this really happened. This is the crap that I had to put up with yesterday. All this started because one of his investigators stole another investigator's photo and slandered it. He started it. Technically, like I said, you shouldn't be posting any evidence online, period. Or anything you want debunked, period. Reason being is you risk this chance of getting slandered. You risk the chance of somebody stealing your photo, making fun of you, and making you look like a complete idiot. That's why we don't do it. And if you've been in the field long enough, you know if it's paranormal or not. And technically, if I have a photograph that needs debunking, I'm probably going to contact somebody that's well known in the field that's been doing it for a long time that will debunk it for me. But I'm not going to share that image on Facebook. That's stupid. All this could have been avoided. But the way I look at it is, if you steal somebody else's photograph and you post it and slander it or slander somebody else's name, there's a good possibility somebody's going to see it that knows that person, and it's not going to turn out very good. Now, with this guy's situation, no, he was lucky I was a nice person. I'm not that type of person that's going to slander other people's name. It's just not going to happen. You got a problem with me, you come face to face. If I have a problem with you, I'll come face to face. Like a man, like a business, being professional. That's just how it works. It was just freak coincidence that he pissed somebody else off and they slandered his name on Facebook, and it was just freak coincidence. The only people he could think of who did I just recently make mad? Oh, it was Kale. Or it could have been the guy we stole his photo off of. It was one of those two that they must have done it. Well, guess what? There was no proof. I hate to say, the whole thing just pissed me off. Like I said, I don't like being drug into drama. I don't create drama. I don't start drama. Don't drag me into your bullshit. And the whole entire time I'm dealing with this, I'm thinking to myself, I feel like I'm talking to a high schooler. Did you talk bad about me? Are you slandering my name? Seriously, dude? I got better things to do than to slander people's name. I wouldn't want people slandering my name. But this is what paranormal drama does. That's what it does, ladies and gentlemen. It causes issues. Now, I made peace with this guy. He's finally realized that, oh, crap, I blamed the wrong guy. I'm not holding a grudge against him. I'm mad about the whole drama thing in general. But, you can't control other people. You can't control their actions. You can't control what they think. Well, folks, I'm going to log off of this podcast. Hopefully it was informational for you. I just want people to steer away from drama altogether. It was just something I wanted to share because it causes a lot of heartache. You don't want to have a rift between your fellow investigators. You don't want to have a rift between other team members. Don't get into drama on Facebook. My recommendation, I rarely get on these ghost hunter pages anymore and even put my input just because it's going to stir up some type of drama because there's going to be some type of thrill seeker or wannabe ghost hunter out there that thinks they know more than you do, and their belief system may be different than yours, and it just stirs up a bunch of crap. You got to realize in the paranormal field there's all types of people. So I always recommend steer away from making comments. If you want to review the pages, that's great, because you're going to find crap on there and go, that's dust. That's a light reflection. Water droplets, pareidolia. And you read some of their comments, you're thinking, oh, really? You really think it's a ghost? But you know what, guys? Everybody's got their own belief systems. If somebody believes in something strong enough, you can't change their mind. It's like politics. I may believe one way and somebody believes in something else, and you can't change their mind because their mind's already set. Works the same way with the paranormal. But again, I would try to stay away from drama as much as possible. Just remain polite, remain professional. That's all I can really say, I'm going to tag off here. If you enjoyed this podcast, let me know. Just subscribe down at the bottom of my YouTube channel. Leave a comment. Got a question or concern, just let me know. If there's something you want me to talk about live on the air, just let me know. Just make a comment here on Facebook or on YouTube. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You guys have a wonderful day. It's the end of 2014, and probably my next podcast won't be till 2015, so guess what? See you next year.